Facebook says our posts go against their community standards. Mission accomplished.
China has started arresting peaceful protesters and freezing their bank account. Oh, no, wait. That was Canada.
U.S. health officials may recommend getting a fourth COVID shot this fall. Or, for most of our viewers, they'll recommend getting the first shot for the 50th time.
An Olympic skier suffered from a frozen penis. He just wanted to keep going a little longer.
And the editor of Kyle and Joel's new book is here, and she is going to fix all our grammar gooder.
All this and more on...
The Bee Weekly.
All right, welcome to the Bee Weekly. As you can see, I'm joined today with by Jarrett and Kristen Oren, who works for the Bee and is the editor of Kyle and Joel's new book. So we'll talk to her about that a little bit later. Kyle is not here this week. He'll be joining us again next week. One of the things that happened with the Bee this week is we got flagged on Facebook because one of our posts went against their community standards.
Isn't this sort of a common occurrence? Like, it sort of happens all the time.
I don't know how often this happens to our posts.
They deleted the post.
They deleted it?
Oh, they actually deleted this one.
I think it was up for a while.
Yeah.
It was up for a while, and then they made a big deal about it.
What's odd to me is so the post was, it's Amy Schneider, that transgender woman who was winning everything on Jeopardy. And it says, trans woman breaks Jeopardy record, proving once and for all that men are smarter than women. So, I mean, I guess it broke multiple standards because it's stating the fact that the transgender woman is a man and saying men are smarter than women. So maybe because there's two strikes. But I feel like it's a joke that we've made over and over again. It's interesting which ones they choose to...
Right. It doesn't seem like a very uncommon joke. In fact, the trans thing is like 100% like this every week. You guys are making a new one about the trans thing.
It is one of the two jokes that we have.
Yeah. That's one of the two.
So,
no, that's true. It's one of two jokes.
Yeah. And then we had a third joke here that men are smarter than women, but...
Yeah, that's what must have done it.
The men are talking.
Oh, sorry.
I'm kidding.
She is merely a woman.
No, it's horrible.
That's what did it.
Yeah. But so I am surprised that they don't suspend more of our posts.
Mm-hmm.
But it's always it's like a badge of honor, I feel like, when these like Twitter and Facebook
I feel the same way
for things.
Yeah, because isn't it like I mean, it seems to me like as soon as they demonetized my first video, I was like, I've made it.
Yeah.
Like I've been successful in my life. I've been canceled up, to some degree, like it was really cool. I don't know if you guys feel the same way.
I think maybe Seth wrote an article, pathetic excuse for a Christian hasn't been banned from Twitter yet.
Oh, yeah.
Like that.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of how it feels. It's like, how have I not been banned yet if you're not able to get banned for this stuff?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Just means you're not funny enough or something, or you're not making enough of a splash or something.
Yeah, you're not being sensational enough.
Mm-hmm.
So this one, next we have a subscriber dare.
Friends, World War III is upon us. Are you truly prepared for the troubles ahead? This is not a laughing matter. The best protection you can have is long-term emergency food storage. This is the survival food that will get you through the difficult times ahead. And right now, you can save $150 plus get free shipping on a 3-month emergency food kit if you go to preparewithbee.com. The food kit we're urging you to get today is from My Patriot Supply. Millions of American families trust this company with their preparedness, and they've given them almost 50,000 4- and 5-star reviews. That's a heck of a lot of reviews. If you stock up now, you'll have food security in the months ahead when it matters the most. We all remember the great toilet paper and food shortage of 2020, so don't let that happen to you again. If you stock up now, you'll have food security in the months ahead. Go to preparewithbee.com to claim your $150 savings per kit. Your order will ship fast in unmarked boxes, so no one can snoop on you and see what you're doing. Go to preparewithbee, that's BEE.com right now. You'll save $150 and get free shipping on each 3-month emergency food kit you order.
This is Subscriber Dare.
Subscriber dare, this is from Jacob. It says, pretty sure I've listened to every podcast episode now, all the way through except the subscriber portion. So to get me there, I'd like you guys to become fans of my favorite band, 21 Pilots. Tell me what you think of the lyrics to the song Ode to Sleep verse 2. Dan Coates had... Do I read the part in parentheses?
I had
negotiate him down. The song is long.
Dan Coates, our producer, had to negotiate him down to a smaller part of the song. But Jacob wants us to tell him what we think of the lyrics to the song Ode to Sleep, verse 2, and interpret your meanings of it. Then he will become a subscriber. I will become a premium subscriber if you ever get Tyler Joseph of said band on the show for an interview. Is Tyler Joseph somebody in our world? Are they a Christian band? I don't know. Oh.
21 Pilots, I think, is a Christian band. They're one of those. They're a crossover band.
I'm not a fan of their music personally.
I personally I like them. I think they're pretty cool.
The only pilot I hate more than 21 Pilots is Muhammad Atta.
That's really good.
It's a good reference.
It's a good reference. I was thinking a Stone Temple Pilot. Yeah. But he's gone now.
All right. Here's lyrics. Verse 2 of Ode to Sleep.
Okay.
On the eve of a day that's forgotten and fake, and the trees they await and clouds anticipate. I don't know if I'm doing this song justice here.
It doesn't sound like it.
Do you know? You do it.
No, I don't.
You're
actually.
A performer.
Okay, yeah. Let's give it a whirl.
Yeah.
Want me to start over?
Yeah.
On the eve of a day that's forgotten and fake, and the trees they await and clouds anticipate, the start of a day when we put on our face a mask that portrays that we don't need grace, on the eve of a day that is bigger than us. But we open our eyes, 'cause we're told that we must, and the trees wave their arms and the clouds try to plead, desperately yelling, there's something we need. I'm not free. I asked for forgiveness 3 times. Same amount that I denied, I 3-time MVP'd this crime. I'm afraid to tell you who I adore, won't tell you who I'm singing towards. Metaphorically, I'm a whore, and that's denial number 4.
Bravo.
I mean, isn't it like...
That was very
bravo,
good.
yeah.
No, it's kind of like... The snapping. I know, it does feel... I mean, is this about Peter? It seems like the denial 3 times is about forgotten and fake. It's almost... To me, it feels like it's Peter the Apostle on Halloween.
Okay. So is Peter about to go trick-or-treating?
Yeah, I think that's what this is about.
Uh-huh.
And he's going trick-or-treating in Tijuana.
Okay.
That's what I'm seeing the Tijuana reference at the end there.
Just because you think all whores are from Tijuana?
Yeah, most of them.
So a mask that portrays we don't need grace. Does that means we pretend like we're good?
Uh-oh.
And we don't need forgiveness?
I think maybe Kristen's onto something.
Is that what that means?
That's possible.
That's the only line that I understand.
On the eve of a day that's forgotten and fake.
Yeah.
Christmas, the trees await. The start of a day when we put on our face, the mask that betrays that we don't need grace. So that sounds like a Pharisee.
It says the start of a day when we put on our face. So that reminds me of waking up. And then it says desperately yelling, there's something we need. So I think it's about iced tea because I don't drink coffee, so I need an iced tea when I wake up. That's my interpretation.
That might be it.
The 3 times MVP'd this crime.
That's the most heavy-handed Peter reference. I would say, right?
And then he's like the denial number 4, which is metaphorically, I'm a whore. I'm afraid to tell you who I adore. I want to tell you I'm singing towards.
I don't understand that.
So doesn't it seem like...
Well, metaphorically, I'm a whore. Is that like in the Bible? There's a lot of references to like unfaithfulness to God.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Babylon,
like a prostitute or a harlot. Yeah,
it's like the Babylon Bee kind of.
Yeah,
whorish in that sense.
Denial number 4. Yeah.
The 3 times MVP'd this crime. You know, this is interesting. I don't know if you're going to get this guy as a subscriber. I just don't think that there's a...
I think I insulted his favorite band too much. But I hope our interpretation is.
I think we did it justice.
You think we did it?
He should subscribe. Besides that, being a subscriber is so much fun. So.
And not only should Jacob subscribe, all of you should subscribe.
Well, I totally agree because the behind the scenes stuff is really good.
Oh yeah.
In fact, the most recent behind the scenes for What You Talking About, Willis, made me... I was laughing more at that than I was at that was ridiculous.
Really, that was a fun sketch.
My goodness.
There's a lot going on behind the scenes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
All right, thanks for that subscriber dare, Jacob. And now we'll go on to the banger of the week.
Banger of the week.
This is our top shared story. The headline is Massacre as Great White Shark Allowed to Compete in Women's 500 Freestyle. It says William Thomas was ranked 462 in men's swimming before. Oh, so this is the story it's based on. It's about that transgender swimmer Leah Thomas who was
Harvard
ranked for UPenn.
UPenn.
Yeah.
Swimming
So
against
UPenn,
her.
but then there's a Yale swimmer that's transitioning the other way. That is like Leah Thomas's like top competitor.
Oh, really?
You know about that? Yeah.
No. So
One
is
of them.
she's doing, or he, whatever.
But
she's
she's
doing
still
well.
competing as a woman.
Yes, because Leah Thomas, who was male and is transitioning to female, has like the hormone levels now that Leah's allowed to compete as a woman. But I forget the other person's name. That person's transitioning from female to male, but doesn't have enough hormones yet to not compete in the women's.
But still has testosterone.
And it's all a fact, and you're born that way, and you can't change it.
And
it
that's
all
what
makes
makes you a woman.
And
is
you're
your-
hateful
your
if you say it
hormones.
doesn't make sense at all.
This is crazy.
But this article was basically about a great white shark because, to be less discriminatory and more inclusive, they let a great white shark compete. The Photoshop, you got to check out the article because the Photoshop is the best. It's just a shark devouring swimmers. And
It's like that opening scene of Jaws.
yeah.
I remember we just watched Jaws for the first time with my kids
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
and had to skip that scene. I don't know if you guys remember that scene. Just as a warning.
I've never watched
What,
it.
the opening
okay.
where the
Too
shark gets
scary.
the swimmer?
Yeah, from the under.
Oh, it's terrifying, yeah.
It's terrifying. And not just is it terrifying, that lady is nude.
yeah.
And we're talking, it's a PG movie. Anyway, I'm sorry.
I mean, that's
So,
terrifying.
Obviously, I have my standards for my kids. I don't want to,
I mean, that shark is scary, and it's scary that they're letting men compete as women.
But it's also
Yeah,
kind of
and sharks competing. Yeah,
yeah.
hokey compared to. I mean, I've seen that scene, and the
Yeah.
shark obviously looks. It does look fake to me, does it not?
Bruce?
That is that Bruce?
Yeah, I think that is actually the name of the shark. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it does look fake, but at the same time, I mean, I
still
love
scary.
that. It's a
Yeah.
great movie because all the acting's great. Richard Dreyfuss is great. Like,
Yeah.
I was
should
in
watch it.
Jaws. Yeah, he
Well,
was-
believe it or not,
Yeah.
the B News Desk got an exclusive interview about this shark. So, should we throw that at?
Yeah.
let's do it.
Cool. Let's take a watch.
We have some big news today from the Ivy League Women's Swimming Championships, where a new competitor is really making waves. Under new, more inclusive, and less discriminatory policies, a great white shark was allowed to compete.
Her name is Bruce. She's very brave and she's really making a splash. You may recognize Bruce from Katy Perry's halftime show as Left Shark. Needless to say, Bruce knows how to reinvent herself. Now she's transitioned into competitive swimming. Not only did she win every single event, but she massacred the other swimmers, leaving dozens dead.
Look at that form. It's almost like she was biologically designed for this. Some analysts assume that by taking on these champion competitors, Bruce was biting off more than she could chew. But no, she was able to bite and chew every single one of them. You could say the competition was dead in the water.
Bruce dominated heat after heat, wowing spectators with her speed, form, poise, and the ability to maul anyone in the pool.
Amid the chaos, two lifeguards dove in to try to save the other competitors. They were eaten as well.
The shark was awarded every medal and placement, as all the other swimmers were dead. The official who gave her the championship trophy was promptly eaten.
Bruce savored the taste of victory. And the taste of arms, kidneys, faces, and ears.
As no one at the venue was left alive, we sent one of our own reporters, Brody Hooper, to obtain a statement from Bruce. Brody? Oh, he looks hurt. I hope someone gives him a hand.
Bruce is being celebrated for being a strong, successful female, though it is slightly problematic that she's both great and white.
Hashtag MeToo.
That was
Wow.
a great,
Hard-hitting.
great
Amazing.
report on the shark that's competing in the swimming.
Love
match.
those anchors.
Yeah, that one was great.
Very talented.
Yeah.
The girl.
Yeah, the girl was great.
She was
yes.
very good.
Hey guys, everybody knows that having a strong immune system is important, especially nowadays. But did you know that 70% of your body's immune cells are located in your gut? Yes, having a healthy gut is essential to having a healthy immune system. How can you have a healthy gut? Nori. That's spelled Nouri. We've got these products all over our office here at the Babylon Bee. They make the best immune health products out there. They got the first ever immunobiotic formula on the market here in the US in cool looking, clear little supplement capsules, and they're releasing a delicious immune health beverage packed with probiotics, vitamins, and minerals, all the good stuff that helps keep the viruses away. Go to www.dailynori.com and save 50% on your first Nori order with the code BEE, that's BEE, at checkout.
Now it's time for our bomb of the week. This was our least shared and liked article.
Cool.
Bomb of the week.
DeSantis signs new bill where you can only say gay to mean uncool or lame.
Dude, I think that's
like
really
that
funny.
headline. I like that one better than the shark one, I think, honestly.
Totally.
Because,
I love this.
So DeSantis was trying to sign a bill. They call it the Don't Say Gay bill. Did he sign it? I know it was in the news this week.
Was that real?
That was real.
So what's confusing to me about it is there used to be, I feel like, the Don't Say Gay, that phrase referred to not using gay in a bad way. So they were like, don't say gay. And now his bill, I think, is about keeping, like, and I could be wrong about this, but I think it was about keeping, like, literature and books and, like, information about, like, homosexuality and LGBT issues out of, like, schools being taught to little kids and stuff.
Oh, so
but they're
it's
calling
more-
them both the Don't Say Gay
I thought it was
bill.
like...
Dan, is that correct? Do you know? I wasn't paying attention. Oh, the Don't Say Gay bill that, did it pass in Florida? Did he sign it?
So it's to not have LGBTQ in...
I think so. I don't.
Well,
I'm
it's
not
interesting
sure
because
about
like it seems like it's about bringing back that casual 90s homophobia
yeah,
that we
which
all
I,
grew
which
up
I
with.
miss.
Gay! Like that, that
miss,
kind of
yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
Turnip.
That we can't say that.
We're not allowed to say... It's
Turnip.
Oh, we're not allowed to do those things anymore.
Yeah.
And you want to be respectful of people
Yeah.
and their perspectives, and you want to make sure that you're being kind as much as you can. And so I understand why we don't have casual 90s homophobia anymore.
But legislating
Yeah.
language or...
That's the problem, right?
Yeah.
Legislating. But this is kind of more about like keeping
Oh, so
LGBTQ.
here's what it is.
Yeah.
It's advanced to the House right now. House Republicans in Florida. It forbids the discussion of sexual orientation and gender identity in schools. Democrats say that it demonizes LGBTQ people. But yeah, it's interesting because they call this one the Don't Say Gay bill, even though I feel like 10 or 15 years ago, the Don't Say Gay phrase was to stop you from using it to mean uncool or lame.
Right.
But yeah,
Don't Say Gay has changed its meaning.
it has. But
Like everything else.
That was the bomb of the week, and I don't know. I enjoyed it.
I'm sorry I laughed.
But now it's time for the weekly news with Adam Yenser.
It's time for the weekly news with Adam Yenser.
This week, Canadian dictator Justin Trudeau invoked emergency powers and began arresting Freedom Convoy protesters in Ottawa. On the bright side, the arrested truckers were pleased to find that jail showers are much nicer than the ones at truck stops. Boris Johnson announced a plan to end all COVID restrictions in England, meaning residents will no longer have to stay 6 feet apart, but Prince Andrew will still have to stay 100 yards from playgrounds and schools.
Ooh.
Are you a defender of his?
No.
All right.
But that is, yeah. That was just a solid burn,
Yeah.
bro.
A basketball signed by Barack Obama, Kobe Bryant, and LeBron James is going up for auction. Obama signed it because he's an NBA fan, Kobe signed it because he's an NBA All-Star, and LeBron signed it because it was made in China. The Kentucky Horse Racing Commission has nullified the late Medina Spirit's 2021 Kentucky Derby win due to a failed drug test. Man, Medina Spirit must be rolling over in his glue bottle right now. During the final week of the Winter Olympics, Remy Lindholm, a skier from Finland, suffered a frozen penis. It was frozen so solid he couldn't even write his name.
Oh my God.
Thankfully, the Chinese urologist who treated Remy said he should be fine, then added, wait, they're supposed to be this big even when they're cold?
Oh.
Kyle, can I do both of those? Oh, that's right. Kyle's not here this week. The state of California is considering making a Bill of Rights for cats and dogs. California lawmakers argue that pets are just like humans and they should have basic freedoms that can be crushed and taken away as well.
It's about time.
Yeah. I wonder what a pet Bill of Rights would be.
Yeah, I know. Let's get the right to property and freedom and
you can't keep them on a
pursuit of-
leash anymore.
yeah,
It's
pursuit of
violating their
happiness.
rights. Yeah.
That's right.
U.S. health officials may recommend a fourth COVID shot this fall. Scientists say it all depends on how the Democrats' poll numbers are doing at that point. Two passengers were injured when a helicopter crashed into the ocean at a crowded Miami beach. The passengers were taken to Miami's top medical center where they were given nose jobs and liposuction. They're still injured, but are thankfully doing much hotter. A 500-pound bear has been breaking into homes in Lake Tahoe, California, which is unusual since fat old bears usually go to Palm Springs.
Oh, that's a good one,
You
too.
know that reference?
Yeah, that's good. That's really good.
Finally, the GOAT, Leah Thomas, won 4 races at the Ivy League Women's Swim Championship and set a new record in the 200-yard freestyle. And it was a heated pool, so no need to worry about frozen penis. That's it for the weekly news. If you'd like to see
my
more,
goodness.
check out the canceled news on my YouTube channel. And you can catch me live at TK's Comedy Club in Dallas this Friday the 25th through Sunday the 27th. Thank you for that, Adam. That was definitely the funniest segment on this podcast. Now we're going to move on to stuff that's good.
Stuff that's good.
This is where we name things that are good from our week. So I guess, am I starting this off?
Yeah.
The thing that was good this week for me was I went to Disneyland, and some friends of mine had the they got the hookup for this like VIP tour thing. Have you guys ever done that
No.
before? They have like private a host that like takes you around the whole park and just takes you to the front of the line for everything.
Oh, that's cool.
And they're like they're super nice. It started raining while we were there, and these two like hosts, they like ran off and got us ponchos because it was raining. And we went. There was like outdoor seating, and they dry it off with towels
Like
like
VIP,
before you come.
the
It
VIP
is. It's
treatment.
crazy. I didn't know they do that there.
Now,
But
do
it
you
was
have?
very-
I mean, I'm just this.
Am I
story is
allowed
so
to
weird.
like Disney on this, or are we like,
Yeah.
Disney's
loves-
an evil liberal company?
No,
Kyle
no,
goes
I
to
like
Disney
Disney.
all the
Okay, awesome.
Kyle loves it.
Oh yeah, that's probably where he is now. That's probably why he's not here. That's why I wasn't here yesterday.
Yeah, stuff to do.
Yeah,
Stuff to
exactly.
do. And you got so you have friends.
I do have a few friends, not many, but yeah.
You seem like the guy that has quality friends, like, a few quality friends in your inner circle. Is that true?
Yeah.
Or do you have like 100
I have a few quality
casual
friends in my inner circle, and then I have a lot of other friends that I don't really like too much.
That's good.
Yeah.
I have kind of a lot of friends, and I
Uh-huh.
have a few in my inner circle.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
What about you, Kristen? Do you have?
I have some friends. Yeah,
Okay. You got friends?
I've got friends.
Yeah.
Lots
No,
of.
I
You're
have
probably
good
a nice.
friends, but
you do.
mine go back for a long time. So
Yeah,
that's
good. Shout out to Kristen's friends.
Yeah.
they're great.
I'd say I feel like
Yeah.
I still have some friends from growing up in Pennsylvania, but like because I've moved like first to New York, then out to California, it's like I still have friends from each of those phases, but it seems like the friends kind of cycle out, as people, as I move and as people move away, and then
Doesn't it-
one day I'll die alone.
No, keep in touch with all those old
No,
friends. That's
well,
fun.
truly, that's one of the best things about Facebook. And there's so many problems with Facebook, but like being able to stay in contact with your old friends.
Yeah.
But I just think as an entertainer, you always run into different groups of people, and you kind of have these intense relationships for short periods of time. Like you're in foxholes with people for a little bit.
Yeah.
And then you kind of lose touch for a while. And then when you get back together, it's kind of like a big refresher. Like, oh my goodness, hey guys,
Yeah.
it's like a reunion. But it's interesting that that's cool that you got to go to Disneyland.
Yeah, and get the VIP
thing.
I mean, it was.
Did
it
you
was
go to
interesting.
Club 30 or whatever? That 33?
No, so
or-
this is the thing. This is the part that's not good. My friend, she gets Club 33 tickets all the time because she's like a young, attractive woman, and there's some old man who pays for her to go to Club 33 all the time. 'Cause that's
Sounds
how it works.
ethical. Yeah,
And,
that's
then,
good.
and this guy,
Sounds really cool.
that's how it works.
Uh-huh.
And this guy gave her like a bunch of tickets to like go on this like VIP tour. So it was free,
fun.
and we had a VIP tour. And it's like those Disney like employees, they have to act like happy and positive no matter what's going on. So like one of our guides, I won't say their names because I don't know if they watch or want to be mentioned or not, but it was a guy and a girl who are our guides, and the girl was wearing like this like their jacket, and then they're like a short skirt and heels, and it starts like raining, and it's like 50 degrees or colder in California, which is freezing for us out here. And she's like, "Oh, I'll go get you ponchos." And she's just drenched,
She's just
with
soaked.
no poncho for herself.
Oh,
just
wow.
making sure we all have ponchos and drying off chairs for us. And
You know,
stuff.
it's
It was
comforting to
great.
know that there's an organization that will train you to be that
Yeah.
kind of self-denying or whatever. I feel
Yeah.
like if you went to a Chick-fil-A convention, they would do the same thing.
Yes, that's what
Yeah.
one of my friends compared it to that. They're
Yeah.
like, they're Chick-fil-A employees. They just have to be positive about the company
Yeah.
no matter what's happening.
My pleasure. My
Yeah.
pleasure. I'm
Exactly.
freezing. My pleasure.
And they do a good
Exactly.
job, and everything is
Yeah,
They do.
that's good.
good.
Jarrett, what's your good
Well,
stuff that's good this week?
Okay, stuff that's good. I just had one more question.
Oh, sure.
So, are you personally, would you feel comfortable sharing? Are you dating anyone or anything?
No, I'm single right now.
You're single right now.
I've gone out on dates every now and then, but no, I'm single.
I just feel like the listeners might want to know.
Well, it's only that Chad Eric got
That
the dates.
Chad-
It's
that
always-
Chad
it's
guy?
always a guy, yeah.
It's like, hey,
Yeah.
is Adam single?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. All right,
Yeah.
Maybe he's trying to hook you up with a friend of his.
I doubt it.
Okay. All right. Anyway. All right. So my stuff that's good this week. I have two, but I kind of want to focus on. Okay. I'll just say this. So I read audiobooks. I'm a narrator for audiobooks, and so I have this really cool series that I'm doing called it's the Alexander King series. And my friend Bradley Wright, he's an author, and he's written like 10 books. These authors are crazy. They write literally like 2 or 3 books a year. They're so prolific. It's an incredible thing. Like I'm working with like probably 4 authors right now that are doing that. There's this guy, Matthew Reef, who writes kind of the same thing. They're like international sort of spy novels. And they're like kind of Batman, these really wealthy people that are vigilantes too.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, they're kind of cool. Like all these series are a little bit similar. And then I have another one that's about like if the Catholic Church had like a military arm that fought monsters. Like,
Oh, man, that sounds awesome.
Yeah, it's actually, it's pretty cool. It's called
Yeah.
The Templar Chronicles. Anyway, but I was just going to bring up the one. So Bradley Wright's coming out with a new book called Enemy Lines. And I'm right now currently reading that book, and it's going to be out in a couple weeks. So I'm really excited about that. The other one I had was this, and it's so stuff that's cool. If you guys can check this out, Army of Darkness. This is an Ash Williams. It's an Ash Williams doll
That's pretty cool.
that I thought you guys would really appreciate. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys are Army of Darkness. Did you ever see Army of Darkness, man? Have you seen it?
I've seen, how many of them are there? I've seen either
No.
the first or second one.
Well, there's Evil Dead.
But Evil Dead, that's what
2.
I'm thinking of. Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
and
he's
he's got-
from that, right? He's from
Yeah,
Evil
he's
Dead.
from Evil Dead. And
I don't think I've seen Army of Darkness then.
Yeah.
I
This is
said
it.
cool and acted like I like it, but I don't know what I'm talking about.
Well, it's about a
never
guy.
seen it.
I mean, I don't know if I should recommend it.
The movie looks really good. The movie looks really good from the action figure.
Yeah,
the
they
action figure is cool.
Well,
I've
it's
never
about.
heard of it.
This is about a guy who works at S-Mart. So in this world, it's not Kmart, it's S-Mart. And the whole thing is shop smart, shop S-Mart. Like that's like this whole thing. And then he works there. He goes back in time to like the Middle Ages and has to fight, the evil that is trying to take over this like castle.
Always fighting evil.
And
that
he
guy.
cuts off his hand and puts a chainsaw on it.
Oh, nice.
And then fights evil with his chainsaw hand and
Wow.
his shotgun. And he calls his shotgun a boomstick and calls all the people from the Middle Ages like, primates. He's like, you primates wouldn't understand things like molecular structures. Yeah, it's really, anyway, it's ridiculous and
Is
stupid.
it like the
and-
same tone of like Evil Dead?
Yeah.
Where it's like
Yeah, it's kinda
campy
campy,
and fun. Yeah.
Yeah, so anyway.
Awesome.
I got 2 things, and those were them. And my Bible reading plan. That was the other thing, but it's my 3rd thing. I'll do
You
that
guys,
next
whenever
time.
we do this, I always have to come up with something last minute because I'm like, oh, I went to Disneyland this week.
Yeah.
And you guys, when Kyle, it's always like, the theology, I was reading this book.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I went to Disneyland.
Yeah, I literally finished Leviticus today.
Uh-huh.
Read through Leviticus out loud.
Yeah.
I mean, dude,
Wow.
it's a challenge.
Yeah.
There's a lot of interesting things in there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of profound stuff. Yeah, so anyway, we can talk about that next time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey everyone, big news just this week. SCOTUS agreed to hear 303 Created versus Ellenus, providing an opportunity for the court to decide whether Laurie Smith and other artists have creative freedom or instead can be compelled to create and speak the government's message. This is very similar to another case, Masterpiece Cake Shop, that we've already seen. Colorado state officials have attempted to require artists like Laurie to design and publish messages that would violate her religious beliefs, which are of course protected by the First Amendment. She joined with Alliance Defending Freedom to challenge the law in court. Now, after several years of legal struggles, the U.S. Supreme Court will have a chance to set things right and uphold the God-given, constitutionally protected rights of creative professionals, including Laurie Smith. A win for Laurie here will protect freedom of speech for her and many other Americans. Cases like this that go all the way to our nation's highest court can cost hundreds of thousands of dollars. Alliance Defending Freedom doesn't charge their clients a dime for legal services and instead relies upon donations, the generosity of people like you. Will you help support Laurie's continued battle to preserve her freedom? If so, go to adflegal.org/BabylonB. That's adflegal.org/BabylonB. Pledge to support ADF today so they can continue to help protect First Amendment rights and our religious freedom.
So anyway, sorry,
What
Chris.
about you, Kristen?
Just like chatting it
Well,
up.
I'm
What's
going to
good?
make you feel great and tell that my stuff that's good is my Bible study.
Awesome.
But
good.
no, I highly recommend being in a Bible study and in a small group studying the Bible. And I've done the same one for 20 years with my church. And we did a Zoom. I Zoomed into their Bible study this morning because it's a Wednesday morning thing. And just all different ages and
What's
always,
the curriculum? What are you guys?
Yeah, what are you
we're
guys
doing
reading
Esther
right now?
We're doing Esther. So, but we're thinking about doing this again. One of the ones that we did where we did a book of the Bible every week.
Wow.
So there's something called the Amazing Collection. It's a very good study. It took us 2.5 years.
Cool.
And we technically you're supposed to read the whole book of the Bible in the week, but that's kind of hard to do, especially some of them.
Yeah.
So they have little, if you can't do the whole thing, you can read a few chapters. But
Cool.
anyway.
Is it like BSF, like Bible Study Fellowship? Or is it
No.
like you guys are just choosing a book of the Bible and then reading it through?
Well, it's called the Amazing Collection. Well, our studies, we choose a study to do. And we used to watch a video with it, but now we have like different women from our Bible study. We have like 100 women who do it from our church and from other churches that come, and we assign a person to get up and speak and give the lecture, so a 20-minute lecture, because this is, the videos are usually an hour. That's really too long.
Yeah.
So we do like a little synopsis, and we do a testimony, and it's great.
That's
Get
really
to know
cool.
people, and
So is yours an all-women Bible study, this one that you do
it
on
is
Wednesdays?
because do they even have all men Bible studies?
What's that?
You know,
Do they
that's a
have all
good
men Bible
question.
studies?
I think they
Why?
have. I think
Why
they,
not?
I think they have one.
Some-
I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
mostly
Yeah.
they're like, here's an X, and we're gonna get
Women's Bible studies are huge, though. I mean,
Right,
there's
they are.
all kinds
women's
of
Bible
material
studies.
and-
They're if I remember correctly from the church I go to, the women's Bible study would be like yours. It's like we're reading Esther this week, and the men's Bible study is like we're going to a car museum this week.
Yes, no, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, my
No,
Bible
we
study
do
is
homework.
yeah.
We come prepared.
Yeah.
We talk through all the questions. And,
Yeah.
So that's really interesting. I think so. I'm doing a Bible study too. It's a read through the Bible in a year plan. The Bible recap with Tara Lee Cobble. It's a podcast, and it is so different when you're reading through the entire Scripture versus just reading sections or just reading like, okay, I'm going to read Ephesians again. It's like I've read Ephesians. I just love it. I've almost memorized it, right? But you keep reading that same thing. Because you kind of go back through and you tend to go to the same spots if you don't have a plan.
Right.
And so getting through like the whole Scripture is just a whole different thing. Like I can't explain it. It's almost like things in life have kind of, my whole life has sort of taken a turn for the better since I started like actually reading through the entire thing. So I don't know how to explain. But also
Have
the
you
Bible,
read through the entire thing before? Or is this
So
the
not
first?
all the way through. I've read.
okay.
I've read all the way. I've read parts. I've read them all. I've read all the parts.
but just not in sequence.
right,
like
just not in
yeah.
sequence all the way through.
Uh-huh.
And it's such a trip because you get this whole sense of who Israel was. So there's this context for where Jesus comes from, and then the context for the end as well, the eschaton. Everything sort of like fits because you're getting into the details of what Israel was,
Yeah.
you know, versus like just kind of having this general understanding of, okay, this was ceremonial culture, this was moral law, this was ceremonial law. You know, like I have all those things, but like, but you, when you're actually reading the details of like, you have to break this pot when this happens and you have to do this, like, you know, and they get into like skin disease.
Yeah.
I mean, like
A
it's
dreaded skin disease.
Yeah,
you have
like
to live outside the camp.
the white hair and the
Yeah.
skin disease. You have to live outside the camp.
You have to have the priest look at it.
Yeah, the priest was like a doctor and a he was just basically like a barbecue guy.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of what he was.
Huh.
It was
You
like a big barbecue all the
We
time.
should all try to grows out our priest. Like next time you have a rash or something, go and be like, would you look at this?
Dude,
Yeah.
What do you think this is?
I think I have a white hair in the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah. Come back to me in a week. Listen. Anyway, sorry, I'm just kind of ranting,
No,
but I do
no,
think
it's great.
it's so good.
Yeah,
I'm glad
I
you
mean-
brought that up.
It's probably the best thing I've done for spiritual development is, and it holds you accountable to.
Yeah. Having the community, the women with you, so good.
Yeah, it's great.
I know I have a men's Bible study as well. And generally, we don't do just scripture reading. We read, we read Live No Lies by John Mark Comer, which was great, by the way. If you haven't read that, it's an incredible book. And then Live Not by Lies, which was by Rod Dreher, which is so funny, too. So similar titles, very different ideas, but really interesting. Really interesting. So we're going through those books, but not necessarily just going through the scripture like that. I do think women kind of do this better than we do.
Probably.
Yeah.
We do Jeopardy better though.
Yeah, that's boom.
Yeah.
That's right. Hey,
There you go.
you're gonna get censored for that.
Men like Amy and us.
I have one more. I have one more stuff that's good.
Oh, good.
Oh, good.
Okay, this is it is a BBC production, Masterpiece Theater, All Creatures Great and Small. It's very family friendly and just very well done. It's a remake of an old Masterpiece Theater. But
Are you a
very
big
well done.
Masterpiece Theater fan?
Yeah. I mean, I loved Downton Abbey and all that kind of stuff. So.
What's your other? What do you have any other favorites?
I mean, we like a lot of the. There's a Grantchester is a show, and what is it, Endeavor? That's
Endeavor's good. Yeah, so
There's
like the
great
murder mysteries.
scenery,
Yeah.
know.
You ever
cool
watch
accent.
Star Trek: The Next Generation?
You know,
We
I
could talk
grew
about that
up-
for a long time.
I grew up on Star Trek,
Yes.
but I'm not. I grew up with Star Trek, but I'm,
Yeah.
not exactly a Trekkie.
Oh, that's good. I'm a Trekkie. Have you ever, by the way, I'm not to change subject from BBC because I love the BBC, but have you ever read John Scalzi's Red Shirts?
No, I have not.
Okay, another great recommendation, John Scalzi's Red Shirts. If you liked it, since we're still on the Star Trek thing
Yeah,
for the second,
I'm trying more and more to find a
second
way to
week.
bring up Star Trek. every
Yeah,
week.
it's actually about the red shirts in a particular Star Trek universe that start to realize that they're expendable.
Oh wow.
And so every time they see the main characters come around, they start to run away from the main characters because they realize if I'm around this person, I'm probably going to die, just like Steve did last week. Do you guys remember Steve?
Yeah.
You know, like that kind of stuff. It's amazing. It's an incredible thing. It's like this self-aware, like red
And
shirts.
do you think
yeah.
and that book, do you find it more meaningful to read it start to finish, or
Yeah,
just
that's
meaningful parts and then study them in your men's
No, I
group?
read. That's like what Eric Metaxas says. I read parts of it all the way through.
Yeah,
That's what he always says.
Awesome.
I've read parts of your book all the way through.
Yeah.
that's stuff that's good. You finished Leviticus, you finished Esther, and I went on Pirates: Rise of the Resistance and the Spider-Man web slinger.
Well, I did. I mean, it's like I did bring up Bruce Campbell and
Yeah.
Army of Darkness. I mean, that's not quite
Awesome.
Anyway.
Now we have our guest here. You've been here helping us out this whole episode, but Kristen Oren is here, and you are the editor of Kyle and Joel's new book, The Postmodern Pilgrim's Progress.
Yes, it's fabulous. Have you seen it?
I have
You guys
not.
seen
No. Have you seen it?
I am.
No.
It's really good.
Uh-huh.
It's and I will say I haven't. This is probably heresy, but I've not read the whole original Pilgrim's Progress.
You've
I've
read parts of it all the way through.
Parts of it.
I've
Yeah.
only read part of it too. Today I looked at the title online.
Okay, that counts.
That's as far as I got.
So, but Kyle and Joel reimagined it, and it's a modern version of that tale. It's not a. They didn't take that tale and change it. They made their own new idea of it.
Oh, okay. Fair
But
to call it a reboot or
It's
no?
patterned after it,
I see.
but it's a good. I would say it would be a companion piece.
Oh, awesome.
So it
Read
is.
the
It's,
original one and then read his for more modern heresies and things.
so it's like
that.
a one-to-one comparison thing again. Like they'll meet characters like it's an allegory, right?
Yeah.
So it's like one-to-one. Like they'll meet characters like the woke person, or
yeah.
That's probably not the best.
It
You'll
is
come
a-
up with the
it's a
best.
journey.
No, I'm sure they
It's
Do
a
make-
something
journey.
funny.
I'm sure they make that
Yeah.
comparison in there.
It's a journey. There's a narrator. The narrator is not Christian, or the main character is not the narrator.
Oh, is it a
So that's a
reliable
difference.
narrator or
Yes,
an
it's
unreliable?
great.
That's
It's-
a word I
it's,
remember from talking
a
about
little-
books.
That's right.
It's a little like, have you read Screwtape
Yeah.
Letters? Okay, so where you have the devil in that case. This is I don't know if he's an angel. I was going to ask Kyle. I don't know if he's an angel or just a created being that's heavenly.
Okay.
Who narrates what's happening. It's extremely well written. And Kyle and Joel, I was going to, if he was here today, I would ask him how they work together, because I'm very curious about that, write that.
It is fun that you're here on the day Kyle's not here
Yeah.
to talk about his book.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
right.
Yeah.
But extremely creative and well written and thoughtful, and there's
That's really
the
cool.
character interaction between the characters are good and
That's good.
And since you're
imaginative.
since you're the editor, how many typos does Kyle typically send over to you?
Kyle, I don't even know if Kyle knows when I fix his typos, but
But how many typos are there? Like a lot? You really bad
Like,
at it? Not very bright
per
writer.
day.
Yeah, not a smart man.
Yeah.
He's very smart,
Yeah.
very smart. His typos are very smart typos.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like he'll spell a word even better than it's supposed to be?
Yes, yes. Sometimes he adds a whole bunch of extra words,
Uh-huh.
and just because he's so smart. And sometimes
cool.
he leaves out words that probably, because he's so smart, he knows.
Like to and
Yeah.
and.
Yeah.
Yeah. The
Yeah,
small words.
My favorite things on B articles are when there's like a half sentence, and I have to figure out what the rest of the sentence was supposed to say.
Oh, I see.
So occasionally that happens. That doesn't happen very often. But sometimes you could tell it was edited at the last second, and he was going to go back and fill in a sentence, but then forgot to do it. And
Can you tell who makes more errors, Joel or Kyle?
I don't know who's written the article,
Oh, okay.
so I don't know.
So, by the way, when is this book coming out?
His book is, so I do the articles too. I was just talking about the articles, but the book I think is supposed to be out in June.
Awesome.
I'm going to read it for sure.
Yeah.
And you
It's
edit
so
the
good.
articles, and you submitted an article recently, right? What was the article you did?
I've had some articles published over the years, but my article, last week was the chicken coop.
Oh, yeah.
The
Can you say that for
That's right.
everyone? It was, do you remember the headline?
man.
It was something like he spends
$3,000 to build a chicken coop so he can have 16-cent eggs for free. So, yeah.
I love that one because I know someone who does that.
Yeah,
Was
yeah.
that from a personal
So,
experience?
It was. So my high school friend, my friend that I grew up with, I was with her and with her husband and with some other people I knew from school, family members. And her husband was telling us about how one day he came home from work and saw a giant pile of lumber in the driveway. And he had forgotten that he'd told his wife, my friend, that she wanted a shed to put like outdoor cushions in or something. And he said, order whatever you want. And he came, and it was just like this giant pile of lumber. And so he was doing this long story. They also had a chicken coop, though. I knew that. So this long story about how he had to level their yard. So I changed it, and I made it about the chicken coop.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
The chicken coop thing seems very relatable, though. I don't know if that's
Yeah.
common like everywhere, but in
There's
like
so
LA, like people I work with, they're like city people, but they want to like
Yeah.
have
Oh,
this
no,
like
it's everywhere.
rural
Countries.
experience.
Yeah.
So they buy these chicken coops. They're like, oh, I'm going to save money. I'm going to
Yeah.
raise my own eggs.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, you wasted
Yeah,
so
and then
much
he
money.
made an offer.
I'm just going to go to the store and buy eggs
Yeah.
for however much Joe Biden's raised the price of them.
Yeah, they're not 16 cents anymore, brother.
Yeah.
Well, that's what everybody from LA, I think the people out in LA, they're 50 cents an egg.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm like,
that's
well,
true.
in my town, they're about 16 cents an egg. So
Yeah. There's a lot more eggs in your town.
I guess.
No, I don't know. I got a lot of friends that do this too. My neighbors all have chickens. In fact, when we first moved into our neighborhood, I had to get used to the rooster crowing in the morning at like 5:30, waking us up every morning.
Yeah.
It was like crazy. Did you see McFarlane? You ever see McFarlane?
No.
Anyway, it's with Kevin Costner. I like Kevin Costner.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, he, same thing happened there. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you, like, it's crazy how many people own chickens, have chickens. There was a donkey next door to us. This is like right here.
Yeah.
Like, I live right next to the studio.
Wow.
And like there was a donkey and like
They're loud.
goats.
They're
They were
loud.
so loud. It sounded the donkey sounded like a person being a donkey.
Oh, yeah.
You could
Like, it
video.
was-
I feel like you could video that and put it on YouTube and it get like 100,000.
I have a
Yeah,
friend.
like the goats that scream.
Yeah.
Like it's the same thing. They're like, "Ee-haw." Like that's literally what it sounds like.
I have a friend who has a donkey, and she has an invisible fence and an invisible fence collar on her donkky.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
Because the donkey keeps getting out.
Yeah, so I think
The
they
neighbors
let it,
call it, your donkey's here again.
Yeah, yeah. Keep
That's
it-
right. That's good. Well, anyway, that's crazy.
If I'm a slow reader and which book should I read first? The Bible, The Postmodern Pilgrim's Progress, or Red Shirts?
If you're a slow reader.
Yeah, because I can't take on more than one at once because I'm a very slow reader.
So how much
Which
of
one's-
the Bible
which
have
one?
you read?
Oh, I've read the Bible cover to cover several times.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's why you're a Lutheran.
Yeah. That's why I'm a Lutheran. See, I know the Bible very well. I just don't know all these books about the Bible that you guys have read.
Yeah.
Okay.
Scripture, grace alone, faith alone, and Scripture alone.
There you go.
So I just read the Bible. And if
Have you
somebody
read-
says you should read that, I go, no, Scripture alone. I'm forbidden from reading all these other
Anything
Christian
else.
books.
Or anything that's
I
not
don't think that's
Christian.
actually what it means.
Have you
but-
read Eric Metaxas's Luther biography?
No, but
It's
I did find
amazing.
out who Eric Metaxas was when he was here a few months ago.
Yeah,
Yeah, he was
I would
sitting
like
in
to
that
meet
room.
him sometime. His biographies are unbelievable. You should
Yep.
read them
Oh,
all.
okay.
Yes,
I agree.
The biographies.
Bonhoeffer's really good too.
Yeah, but
Both of
that one
those.
sounded
Luther
interesting,
is
yeah.
so good, and you'll learn so much. yeah.
That one I would like to
And
read.
you're Lutheran, so
Yeah.
Let's start with Amazing Grace because it's short.
Okay.
it's good.
If you're going to read Metaxas's book, start with Amazing Grace for sure.
Well, there you have it. The Postmodern Pilgrim's Progress is the last book that I should read.
No, I
And
think you should read
You
it
can
first.
pre-order it now
It's
on
really good.
Amazon.
And Red Shirts is amazing
Plugged it
and
for.
incredibly entertaining.
Nice.
So if you want to read something quick, read Red Shirts.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's awesome. I want to make it a movie.
I think the Postmodern Pilgrim's Progress is also very entertaining.
Okay.
So you'll love it.
Sounds good.
Very cool.
Now, since you have to fix typos and edit
Mm-hmm.
stuff, are you someone who like corrects grammar of people online? Like people call them like grammar Nazis. Do you consider yourself a grammar Nazi?
Probably. That's how I found Kyle.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
And since
He
you're
needed help.
and so since you are actually employed, you actually do this for a living. Would you say you're the grammar Hitler?
Oh.
Yeah. Or the like maybe like the Obergrubenführer of
Of grammar Nazis.
grammar. I'm
Yeah.
an Obergrubenführer. That's the hardest
That
word to
is.
say.
Why did they pick that
know.
word?
I
Yeah.
don't know.
It's too hard.
Of grammar though.
Yeah.
yeah, of grammar.
So, since you are a grammar expert, we have a little segment here for you. We're gonna have you see if you can correct some grammar mistakes that we have.
Hey everyone, big news just this week. SCOTUS agreed to hear 303 Creative versus Ellenus, providing an opportunity for the court to decide whether Laurie Smith and other artists have creative freedom or instead can be compelled to create and speak the government's message. This is very similar to another case, Masterpiece Cake Shop, that we've already seen. Colorado state officials have attempted to require artists like Laurie to design and publish messages that would violate her religious beliefs, which are of course protected by the First Amendment. She joined with Alliance Defending Freedom to challenge the law in court. Now, after several years of legal struggles, the U.S. Supreme Court will have a chance to set things right and uphold the God-given, constitutionally protected rights of creative professionals, including Laurie Smith. A win for Laurie here will protect freedom of speech for her and many other Americans. Cases like this that go all the way to our nation's highest court can cost hundreds of thousands of dollars. Alliance Defending Freedom doesn't charge their clients a dime for legal services and instead relies upon donations, the generosity of people like you. Will you help support Laurie's continued battle to preserve her freedom? If so, go to adflegal.org/BabylonB. That's adflegal.org/BabylonB. Pledge to support ADF today so they can continue to help protect First Amendment rights and our religious freedoms.
And now it's time for the Babylon Bee to ask, who is this guy? Or girl?
All right, so since you are a editor and a expert on grammar and typos, we have a test for you here. So we brought in a whiteboard like at school. We're going to read some sentences.
Okay.
And we're going to see if you can correct them. We'll figure out, if there's a semicolon missing or are you for or against the Oxford comma?
I like the Oxford comma.
Good, that's the correct answer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I like 2 spaces after a period.
I used to love that one. I used to be very attached to it. I've grown out of the habit of it, but that one took me a long time to get used to when they went back to 1 space.
I've never
It's
lost
easier
it.
to read.
Yeah.
Never lost it. I still
easier.
have it.
Yeah.
You still do the 2
Yeah.
spaces? So do
Yeah,
you
me
still
too.
do it?
Oh, yeah.
I
I do it when I text and on my tweets.
Oh, wow.
And
Yeah.
then if I run out of room on my tweet, I go back and I delete the second space so I
I
can have
see.
room to say what I want to say.
You know?
I used to love the 2 spaces. No, I've lapsed in my 2 space using, but
The 2 times that I've tweeted, I had the double space. Yeah.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah.
Good.
all right. So let's start here with question number 1. The legs of Kyle hurt because of too much running. How would you correct this sentence?
It's a very unusual sentence. Well, for one thing, two, of course, TOO. But
Correct.
it should be Kyle hurt his legs or by running too much, Kyle hurt his legs. Something like that.
By running too much, Kyle hurt his legs.
It's a little.
good.
I'll accept that.
Okay.
That
Okay.
sounds good to
That
me.
sounds good.
Okay.
Can I
you
tell
wanna
you?
do the
Yeah,
next
let's
one?
go. The next one is this. Daily Wire wind in willful, wishful, wild ways.
I feel.
Good
Wait,
luck.
this is.
Good luck.
Did you read that right? You read it different than it is in the script, and it's different in the script and the way
Daily-
you said it than it is up
I
here.
blame Bettina.
Okay.
Let's see. Daily Wire wins wires in willful, wishful, wild ways.
Wires. Wins wires.
Wines. It's wines.
wines.
Sorry.
It should say wine.
Daily
This is
Wire.
wrong.
Wines.
Tina.
Let's give this
in
a whirl.
willful, wishful, wild ways. Okay. Daily Wire wines in willful, wishful, wild ways. Is that it?
Daily Wire
WINDS.
wines.
It's
It's
just
supposed to
missing
be
an S.
Daily Wire winds wires in willful, wishful, wild
Oh.
ways. There's a word missing here. So
Wines wires.
Yeah. Do you have this? Do you have this
Daily
script on
Wire.
yours?
Wines wires.
Yeah.
But what does that mean?
I don't
Wines
know.
wires?
They wind
They wind wires.
wind
Okay,
up
you spool them up. Spool
wires.
up the wires.
So I think
in
what-
willful, wishful, wild ways.
Yeah.
It's correct.
They're
It's
just
correct.
sort of-
It's for what it is. It's. I think it appears that what Bettina was going for here was to put commas after willful, wishful.
Oh, see?
Yeah.
I'm not
Wild
very good
ways.
at commas.
Yeah.
But,
If you
but
really
she
wanna.
also, in her corrected version, did not put the Oxford comma. So she
Leave
loses
out that
points for
Oxford comma.
All
Yeah,
right.
but the Oxford comma is before an and.
But see, that's the other thing. In here, she put an and. Like we're talking
Oh,
about.
okay.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like it
Willful,
would be
wishful,
appropriate
wild.
to have Weird Al Yankovic's Word Crimes playing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever heard that song? Word Cry.
No, I have not.
I'll read the next one here. The Babylon Bee team are dedicated to create humorly content.
Okay. Babylon B needs to be capitalized.
Bingo.
Team is dedicated to creating humorous content.
Nailed it.
That was quick.
Thank you.
All right,
take the
number
next one?
4. Masks mandates are people pointlessly fighting against COVID.
People are pointlessly fighting against COVID with mask mandates.
That sounds
that?
good to me. Masks are pointless against COVID is another way we could put it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bettina said the correct answer is everything except masks are pointless against COVID.
Yes, that would be correct.
Yeah. Number 5, accepting persons for who they are, except when it doesn't compromise your faith.
Accept persons for who they are. Well, we can talk about the content of that. Does it compromise your faith to accept someone? But for who they are or who they say they are. But, all right, let's see. Let's do the grammar. Accepting persons. Accepting, of course, the E and the A are reversed. So, accepting persons for who they are. It's not even right. It's not right. The they is missing in there. For who they are, except E, X, C, E, P, T, when it doesn't compromise, not comprise your faith. I think that's what it means, right?
I think you got it.
Compromise.
Sure.
You got it closer to where it's supposed to.
I think that's very
Compromise.
close.
Yeah.
So every woman must use their fellow trans women's pronouns because in his journey, it's imperative that women support women. Good luck.
Okay.
That isn't.
I'm looking at the answer and I don't even understand.
If I'm just doing grammar, which I think one of the things that's key to editing a B article is to know what needs changed and what is funny, right, or what's just there on purposely wrong. Every woman must use her fellow. I mean, how is it a fellow trans woman? Is it woman? I guess I don't know. Pronouns. Just on the grammar, you would change there to her. Every woman must use her fellow trans woman's pronouns, because in. I mean, what am I supposed to say? Her journey. It's imperative that women support women. That
Facebook's going to suspend you if you say it wrong.
Women support trans women. If you have to say trans in front of it, then it's a tacit admission that they're not a woman.
Yes, it's a different category. Exactly. There's a dialect that
Grammatically.
it's already not a woman.
You can
built
you can
in.
only morph language to a certain extent. You
I
have
agree.
to
That's the correct answer
acknowledge.
right there.
There you go.
That is it.
That's it.
Did you bring any gifts for us?
I did. I brought this gift.
No way.
Isn't it the cutest bee you've ever
That's
seen?
awesome.
That is a cute
And
bee.
on are you guys on Not the Bee?
I read the article
sister
sometimes.
site. Okay, the sister site of the Bee is Not the Bee.
Right.
We have a social network built in, so the subscribers can talk to each other. And anyway, there's a woman. Just found out she's a teenager, actually. Young woman who makes these, and she also makes other little critters, octopuses and things. She's got a little shop, and I could look really quick and tell you the name of it. But isn't that the cutest thing? I brought you
Yeah.
one, and
That's
we can
really
put
cool.
it. We can put it in the subscriber
Dude, that's
lounge
awesome.
over there.
Dude, that is really cool. I mean, it's cute. And it's effective.
Yeah.
That's what I like about
That
it.
should
really
be our
cute.
new logo, our new
Yeah.
mascot right there.
Yes, it's adorable.
That
It
is
is
really
adorable,
cute.
and Not the Bee is a lot of fun. The social side of it, and then the subscriber part of the Bee, where you can talk to people from all over the world who are subscribers and love the Bee and are funny people.
That's awesome. So be
And-
sure to check that out.
Be sure.
Be
great-
sure
great
to
Christian
sign
community.
up for Not the Bee.
That is great.
And you can figure out where you can get one of those too.
Maybe I could meet some friends on there that I like more than the friends I
Then
have.
yeah.
Yes.
I was going to
Yes.
suggest that. Maybe you
Yeah.
could start dating.
I have a
good.
lot of friends on Not
Yeah.
the Bee.
You're really trying to set me up here.
I got
Trying to
friends.
get
I
the
got,
word
Yeah,
out.
you
I got
definitely
friends.
need to be on there.
Yeah.
There's a lot more
You guys
eligible
should-
women than there are eligible men. I just got to.
Really?
Yeah. That's in the Christian community. That's for sure.
It is time for our hate mail. Our hate mail is a little bit different this week. I was delighted last week because in the weekly news, I did a joke that I was talking about the Super Bowl halftime show, and I listed the performers that were there. And I said it featured Eminem, Snoop Dogg, Kendrick Lamar, Mary J. Blige, and 50 Cent.
That was the joke.
I'm adamant about this. That's the joke. And now Kyle didn't get it, and a lot of people in the comments didn't
I saw
get
it. I did not get
and
it.
this is exactly what I wanted to happen. I'm so delighted with this. I knew this would happen when I wrote it.
You write
and I
jokes.
debated making it more clear what the joke was, but I said, no, I want to stick with it like this. So here are some of the... should I read the theories first and then reveal what the
I
joke
think so,
was?
yeah,
Cool.
yeah.
So a lot of people were weighing in the comments. Soldier of Truth wrote the joke was the actual halftime show. Quioji12 wrote, he's saying, and 50 Cent was on the show because they were 50% of the way through the Super Bowl.
Wow.
That was not it.
That was a good one.
Juan Corrales wrote, the joke is he excluded Dr. Dre on the list since he hardly performed. I like this response because it's so
It's
close
kinda
to being
close.
correct.
Yeah, it's
but
like-
it's not.
Is it kind of like being...
Yeah. Gary Simmons wrote the halftime joke
Yeah.
was that 50 Cent should have been pronounced 50 Cent. So a few people in the comments did start getting it. Then one person on the Facebook comments, there was a lot of people saying I'm not funny and it's a terrible joke. That makes no sense to me at all.
Yeah.
Everything I say is funny.
That's very mean.
It's all good.
Some people are mean.
They are.
If you read these comments, we go through it, they are mean, dude.
Yeah, but please keep
Anyway.
writing them because
They're
we
not
love
tolerant.
hate mail. Yeah.
Actually, that's
We need
true.
more.
The more creative you are with your hate mail, the better.
Oh, yes. The meaner and more
The
creative.
hate mail
better.
is hilarious.
Yeah.
It is very funny. Yeah.
So one person thought, like I said, that the joke was that I excluded Dr. Dre because he hardly performed. The first person in the comments to get was someone named Justin Lindbergh, who explained the joke is that he forgot about Dr. Dre being at the halftime show. There is an Eminem Dr. Dre song called "Forgot About Dre." Took me a minute, but that was a good one. So he was the winner. He's the one who figured it out.
Now,
first.
is this kind of the goal of a comedian to sort of make a joke that people have to really dissect?
It's not the goal of a comedian, but it's the goal of Adam Jensen.
Adam Yenser. I was going to say.
Yeah. No, the best way I can explain it is there are times when you do jokes that the audience will like, and then there's times when you come up with something and you're like, this one's just for me.
Yep.
And I enjoyed it, and I knew some people would get it.
Yeah.
But, like I said last week, it's like Forgot About Dre was like a huge song in the early 2000s. Right. It was like Eminem's like headlining song, like is the song he started with at the Super Bowl halftime show. And then even when I explain it to people here, they're like, huh, what that?
What is that?
I'm like, oh, man.
Was that the one where Dre's like going to die? Like, do you remember the video?
That's most of Eminem's songs.
Yeah, right.
He's always-
Everybody's dying, jumping off
Yeah.
a building or something. I was in Africa and I was watching videos from the early 2000s for some reason. I was working out in the one space I could find to work out at the hotel.
Yeah.
And it was like there was this thing on the video. They were just playing videos from the early 2000s. And it was an MTV song. And I think it was Forgot About Dre.
Yeah.
And
It's a great song. I mean, our audience won't like it.
It's the
'cause
only exposure I've
A
had
lot
of
of
it.
our audience hates because it's like, it's vulgar music. There's cursing and stuff in it. But
I don't know, dude.
It was a good song.
Well, that halftime show, I think you guys came out with you came out with a headline last week that was, what is it? Middle-aged
yes.
mom becomes a
yeah,
gangster
that was
rapper.
hilarious,
That
because
was
that
really
is-
funny.
Yeah, that's not my generation, but the
Yeah.
generation under us.
It's mine.
I totally.
It's
Yeah,
ours,
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
That's literally
Totally,
what
yeah.
happened. Like I had not
Yeah.
many friends, but I had a few friends over for the Super Bowl, and
You-
one
not
of them
many
was a mom.
friends,
I don't
right.
have many friends. Period. But
do,
all
I'm
of
sure.
my 3 friends were over for the Super Bowl. No, and then there's a mom there who
Yeah.
a new mother, and man, when that song comes on,
No,
they
it's
go
like
crazy.
they're busting it out.
Yeah.
Like,
exactly
and
That
our
is
kids are
funny.
like, what
getting
is
the
this?
baby to dance to gangster rap.
Gangster rap.
Yeah.
Well, the crazy thing is that's what counts as gangster rap now. Like, California Love. Like,
Yeah. And then it was also funny because like there was another big controversy at the halftime show. Well, controversy where there was like these news articles that like Snoop Dogg was caught smoking before the show. It's like of course
Really?
he was.
Yeah.
Right. Well, the other thing. go
What
ahead.
though? What was he smoking?
Yes. Well, I think
That might be
he's
why it
probably
was
still
controversial.
smokes the bud, I imagine. But you know what?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, so he was wearing all those colors. One of my friends grew up around all those guys.
Uh-huh.
And he's one of my best friends. And he was telling me, he's like, yeah, I couldn't watch the show because, Snoop was all about like Crip life and all this stuff. Like he was
Yeah.
like dressed up in like Crip clothes.
Yeah.
Because you think he's like reformed himself or whatever, but he actually like totally was like throwing gang signs and
It's
doing
weird
the
because
whole
he has a
thing,
real
you
like
know?
gang background.
Yeah,
like
for
he's,
sure.
he's like some of those rappers, they kind of
But it doesn't-
fake
didn't-
that persona, but he really was like in the Crips, I think.
So I always thought he grew up in sort of like a middle class neighborhood.
Oh, maybe I'm
in
wrong
like a
about
nice school and everything. That's where
Okay.
Snoop Dogg grew up. Maybe I'm wrong.
I could be wrong. I thought he was
like-
actually a gang member, but I could be wrong.
But those other dudes were dangerous people, though. Like those
Mm-hmm.
other guys, like with the hit, like Death Row Records, all those guys.
which Snoop Dogg owns now, right? Didn't he just become
Yeah,
the like?
Yeah.
He owns it. And that was like the record that launched him.
I know. Did you guys watch Straight Outta Compton?
I did not see that one.
Oh
no.
man, that's what my friend Lisa Pitts plays Dre's mom in that.
Oh really?
And she's like ridiculous, dude. She did a great job.
Nice.
She was just on another show right now. I just saw her again. She's crazy.
Cool.
Anyway,
But yeah,
that's-
Snoop
yeah,
Dogg is great,
yeah.
and my joke was great.
Your joke was great.
Amazing.
Yes.
And we learned that you were in Africa working out, and that's where you saw. What were you doing in Africa?
So that time, what were we doing? So I'm a worship pastor, and so we were playing I was playing worship at this big conference that was in Nairobi.
Okay.
And I don't know if you guys have you ever heard of Rooted? So Rooted is a curriculum that's like a discipleship curriculum. If you guys haven't looked into it, it started in Africa with Pastor Marithi, Pastor M, they call him. And the church over there is called Mazizi. The curriculum over there is called Mazizi. And it was anglicized or whatever. They brought it over here. It's called Rooted. And it's really great, like sort of beginning discipleship curriculum for a church, like to implement, like, here, let's do Rooted groups, start that whole thing. I'm sure, the Alpha Course, there's a bunch of other ones. But anyway, so it all started there. And since he wrote that curriculum, the church has exploded. It's like this massive church there in the middle of Nairobi. And so we went over there and we led worship for this thing with a bunch of other bands. We didn't belong there, honestly. Like the bands that were there were just crazy. This Ugandan band.
African music is cool.
Dude, they're so good. And we were like literally, I'm doing my little Hillsong songs and stuff. And they were just like dancing all over the stage. It was like, what are we doing here? It's like, we don't belong here. Why did you invite us? And so we stayed there and we did that, and it's crazy. So, but it was a lot of fun. And I got friends out there still. And
It's awesome.
Yeah, one of my friends just moved there. He's a doctor, and he's now a missionary over there. And he's Eldoret.
Yeah,
he's
we
like
knew
out in
some
Eldoret.
missionaries.
Really? That's so cool.
I think they were in Nairobi.
Good. Nairobi's awesome. So if you ever get a chance, shout out to Nairobi. What's up? There's probably not a lot of bee people in Nairobi, but
There could be.
you never know.
You never know.
There might be now.
Yeah, around the world, people.
Cool. That's
Our
it for
subscribers.
Oh,
That's true.
Sorry.
I don't know how Kyle ends this. I was going for let's interrupt our guests.
Yeah, that sounds good.
That's it for the YouTube version. What do we call this? The public version? Yeah, but what do I call this that's it for the B Weekly. If you want to see more, you can check out the Subscriber Lounge, where we'll discuss another classic Babylon Bee headline of the week. And we have some headlines submitted from one of our favorite subscribers, Pure Tige. We're doing an all Pure Tige edition of Headlines of the Week.
Coming up next, for Babylon Bee subscribers.
What is the worst thing you've eaten on a dare?
Baby food peas.
Ooh.
I was in Madrid, Spain, and one of the delicacies over there is blood sausage. So it's coagulated blood in the inside of an intestinal thing. So we got this stuff, and it was the worst. I couldn't even get it past my palate. I was gagging. It was literally the worst thing. It was worse than baby food peas.
This has been another edition of the Bee Weekly from the dedicated team of certified fake news journalists you can trust here at the Babylon Bee. Reminding you that someone out there knows something about Carmen, and we're going to find them.